Welcome to Dark Dave's shop, also known as Santa's workshop. Now, I've been working on a project. This is a really cool project. A lot of people are going to want to know how you actually do it. Well, I've been showing bits and pieces, so let me show you. Let me back up for just a minute and show you what you really need before you get started on this. Now, I've got some stuff here. Now, if you've been in a wood shop before, you know some of these things. One, you need good eye protection. I'm wearing glasses that are really good. They will protect my eyes. You need some kind of face mask, something to keep the dust out. It doesn't have to be medical, but it does have to keep the dust out of your mouth because you don't want to be breathing a lot of this in. You want some kind of earmuffs. Now, these are good enough for high-powered rifles. Has a radio in it. It can take phone calls and stuff. These are really cool. You don't need quite this much. You can get the cheaper ones. I like these because I use them for multiple things. Beyond the tools, the first thing you need is a plan. Now, mine was simple. A friend asked me, I'd been making rocking horses, but little ones for like toys. Well, they want something big enough for their child to sit on. Well, what did I do? I took measurements. And through a very thin sheet, I did a cutout. Now, every one of these is going to be slightly different because hers has the ear of wood. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, okay, little kid rocking on it, let's say a slightly bigger kid, that might hurt you. Modern days, let's get rid of that, so I calmed that down. That's a lot thinner. Mouths are different on each and every one of them. This piece here, well, that piece is pretty cool because it's going to slide in here and hook it. Now, this piece is pretty flat, right? This is the body. This is the front. This is the back. These are where the kid's legs are going to sit. Now, if you know the kid's a lot smaller, you can make these thinner. You want to leave at least 4 inches of wood here. Reason why, as they get bigger, their weight's going to hit on here. They're going to sit around. You'll want it to hold the weight. And we're going to talk about that in a second. Well, there's the head. There's the body. We need the legs. We want about 2.5 inches here. Now, remember, this is going up into the body, and I'll show you that in a moment. So this is going up in there. Again, these are just for the diagrams where I draw it out. Now, when I draw it, it's a rough draw. The reason why each one of them is going to be slightly different, why I don't want to be the same. If everything's exactly the same, you might as well go to a store and spend, their money to get them, and all of these are laser cut. Mine are not. Mine are done on my shop, so each one's slightly different. And the rocker. This is for the rocking horse. This is the most important piece. Why? Because without this, it's not a rocker, it's a roller. With a roller's not a problem. Roller, you cut about 2-inch strip. You put wheels on either end on both front and back. That's 4 wheels, and you can pull it around. If you want it to rock, you must have it cut so it will rock. Now, it doesn't have to be a perfect rock because these are for little kids, but you can make it. Now, I said I'm going to show you little bigger pieces of them. Here is one of the legs. I got the other one here, but it's not important. Reason why that leg has to fit right there. Now, you notice how tight that is. Now, they warp, so I can get one side or the other in. So I'm going to have to hammer this in. Now, when you hammer them in, everybody's like, oh, what you're hammering them in with is a rubber mallet. You do it slowly. You do it at an angle. You lightly tap it. You're not pounding them in. You want them to sit so that it's in there. Now, before you do that, you have to put glue up here. Now, I use wood glue. Just any wood glue, whatever one you like. No one is sponsoring this, so I use the wood glue I happen to have. I bought it at Lowe's. No, I bought that one at Home Depot. Home Depot and Lowe's are great. You can get most of your stuff there. Now, we know this is wood. What kind of wood is this? I had to go and get some better wood because the original wood I was working with, the 2x10, and yes, this is a 2x10. It starts as an 8-foot piece, and it cuts down to the head, 2 legs, and a body. You have a little bit left over, not that much. So you got your front leg, you got your rear leg, same thing. It's very tight. It does fit in there. Fits in there really nice. The reason I say really nice, you want that sucker tight. You don't want these ever coming apart. and you have your head. Or each head's different. I took that off, so it's got a little bump on it, but that's fine. I also curve this down a little bit more. Now, when you're screwing in, this is going to take 3 screws, and I'm going to put, these are about 1.5 to 2, actually I think these are 2.5 inches screws. Yeah, they're 2.5 inch screws. But in here in the middle, I'm going to put a 4-inch screw because I want that sucker in there nice and deep because I want this guy not to move. I'm also going to put one at the angle, and they're getting them angled in. To get them angled in, I use this device, which I can then, it's preset, so I can screw it in. Now, I can't use this form, so I'm going to have to clamp it. So I take this piece off, and I'm going to clamp it on the wood so I can get those screw points in, because I want each screw point to go in and hold it tight. Because I want these things to stay. I don't want them to move out. Once you get done with that, boom, it's wait a minute. We missed something. Let's see, put that there. This is the handle for the little kids. Every little kid wants to pull the rocker, and as they pull, they're doing that, and that's what gets it to rock. This is real simple. You notice I got a little bump here? It's a little bump. You want at least 1.5 inches from either side for this to go in. You can use a simple dowel cut. So you cut it, you want it to cut almost perfectly the same size, so you're gonna have to rubber mallet this through. Now to round this off, I'm gonna use my router, and I'm just gonna give it a touch. So I want this just slightly rounded, and it's gotta be sanded, so I'm gonna use the sander on it, and God knows I might just sand it to get it so it's just a slight roundish. Why? I want it to be able to hit through, and just before it gets all the way through there, then I'm going to put the wood glue, and I'm going to pound it, and I've got to mark it so that when it's in, it's going to be centered. I'm hoping you guys enjoy these. I hope you like the Santa ones. During Christmas, I always try on Wednesdays to put out a Santa one. These are going to be fun. Every year, it's going to be a different project. And yes, I will do one like this that explains the project at the end. Because you've seen me cut these. You heard the noise. This is really loud. The whole thing is, you want to make these, you want to make them good. You want to make sure that the kid that's going to get this is going to be so happy. Not because they got a new toy, but because they got a homemade toy. I'm not commissioning things right now. I've got way too much on my plate. But guys, welcome to Santa's Workshop. I hope you guys have a great day. Yes, the channel is Dark Dave Shop. A lot of it is motorcycle stuff, but I'm a woodworker. This is where I actually started the channel from. I didn't have a lot of viewers. I had more with the motorcycle stuff. I'm keeping with the motorcycle stuff. We'll have a few new ones. Yes, the December ones were actually shot really early or late November because I knew I had to be in the shop for most of this and to get these done. Hope you guys understand. We're going to do some cool motorcycle stuff later. Right now, I've got to get back into the woodworking because I've got to finish. I've got these done. This particular one, it's all routed. Everything's ready. I've got to do some final stuff. I'm not showing you guys the eyes because everybody does their eyes different. But the tool I do the eyes with is, as a friend of mine calls it, my oversized Dremel. This is a cutting tool. I could put Dremel type heads on it. It actually is the same exact size as a Dremel, so it works great. I do have a Dremel that I use, but you need something that you can put the eyes in. For me, the eyes are just really dark, and what I do is I spin it really fast so that it gives a burn mark so the eyes are dark. It's not actually burning the wood. For the nose, it's a much smaller one. Basically, the nose is the diamond cone. It is, I think, 1/8 of an inch. The eyes, you want to be about 1/2 an inch, give or take. You can do whatever you want, though. I've seen people paint the eyes. I've seen people hand carve them. Everybody does eyes different. I like the guys who do the marbles. My wife's like, no, don't do marbles. I'm like, whatever. Because it's going away for a gift, I will do whatever they want. Please enjoy. Come back and check out Dark Dave Shop. Thank you very much.